You are living inside a timeline. You wake up in it. You move through your day in it. You go to sleep inside of it. It feels solid. It feels real. It feels like the only thing that is possible for you. But it's not the only one available to you. Right now, all around you, infinite versions of reality are vibrating. They exist just out of sight, just out of reach, waiting to be collapsed into your experience. They are not far away in some other dimension. They are here, layered on top of your current life, like radio stations playing different music on frequencies you haven't yet tuned into. And yet, people remain locked inside a single loop. They live out the same patterns, the same results, the same frustrations, year after year. They wake up each morning, wondering why nothing changes, even though they desperately want more. They pray for it. They work for it. They beg the universe for a sign. Let's shatter something here. You are not stuck because of fate. You are not stuck because of destiny or bad luck. You are stuck because your system, your mind, your body, your emotions, your very frequency, is still attuned to the old timeline. You can't break free by wishing for it. You can't escape by forcing it. And you certainly can't trick the quantum field by pretending. A quantum shift isn't about manifesting harder. It's not about wanting something more intensely. It's about stepping into a new state of being so completely, so coherently, that the quantum field has no choice but to mirror back a different reality. It has to, because you have become a match for it. Let me explain. Most people think manifestation is about desire. They believe if you want something so badly, if you can feel that burning want, then the universe will eventually deliver it. This is the story we've been told. But here is the truth. No one tells you desire alone does nothing in the quantum field. The field doesn't respond to how badly you want change. It responds to how aligned you are with the frequency of that change. This means that right now, even if you are saying all the right affirmations, making all the vision boards, doing all the visualizations, you might still be signaling the old timeline. Why? Because under the surface, your body is still wired for the familiar. Your nervous system is addicted to old emotional loops. Your subconscious mind is broadcasting deep old patterns of fear, doubt, and scarcity, even while your conscious mind is shouting, I want abundance, I want love, I want success. And here is the most shocking part. The quantum field listens to the dominant signal, not the loudest one. Let that land. The dominant signal comes from your full system vibration. Not just what you think, but what you feel, what you expect in your bones, what you embody in your posture, your breath, your habits. That's why you can say, I am wealthy, 1,000 times a day. But if your body contracts with anxiety every time you pay a bill, the field picks up the contraction, not the affirmation. That's why you can visualize love all day long. But if your heart is armored and closed, if you shy away from connection, the field registers the isolation, not the visualization. This is the trap. This is what keeps people spinning in the old timeline, feeling like failures at manifestation. They believe change starts outside, with new circumstances, with different actions, with better results. But a quantum shift begins inside. It starts with your state, with coherence, with alignment. You must become the version of you that already inhabits the desired timeline. Not someday, not when the evidence arrives, but now. And here is where it gets really wild. Quantum physics teaches us that all possibilities exist simultaneously in the field of potential. Every timeline, every version of you, every outcome you could ever imagine, they are all already there, vibrating in the quantum soup of reality. When you shift your vibration, you are not creating something from nothing. You are not building a new reality from scratch. You are simply collapsing into the version that was waiting for you all along. You are tuning your radio dial to the station that was always playing your song. This is why mystics, inventors, and great thinkers across time have spoken about the power of frequency, numbers, and codes. Nikola Tesla famously said, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, you would have the key to the universe. These numbers aren't magic tricks. They point to universal patterns, to harmonics. They point to the deep underlying truth that reality organizes itself around vibration. So the question is not, how do I get what I want? The real question is, who do I need to become vibrationally to align with the timeline where that already exists? And becoming is not pretending. Becoming is not faking it until you make it. Becoming is not performing for the universe. Becoming is a full-body, full-soul shift into coherence. This is the beginning of the quantum shift. You are not here to fight the old timeline. You are not here to resist it or hate it. You are here to rise into the frequency of the new one. But before we can go deeper into how to do that, I want you to pause. I want you to reflect on this. What version of you has been making your choices today? The fearful one, the overwhelmed one, the one who doesn't feel good enough. What timeline have you been feeding with your focus, your attention, your energy? The one of struggle, the one of lack. And are you ready to let that version go, so a new one can emerge? Sit with these questions, breathe into them, feel the edges they press against inside you, because in the next section, we're going to dive into the invisible forces that keep you locked in the old loop, the resistance, the subconscious patterns, the emotional imprints, and how they hijack your best attempts to shift. This is the layer no one warns you about. The part that explains why so many people know the theory of quantum manifestation but never experience the transformation. Are you ready to uncover it? So let's talk about the real reason people don't shift. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they don't want change badly enough. And it's definitely not because they're doing manifestation wrong. It's because they are still entangled with the version of themselves that is wired to survive the old timeline. And that version, while outdated and painful, is familiar. And the subconscious mind loves the familiar more than it loves progress. It equates familiar with safe. The old timeline doesn't need your permission to keep playing. It just needs your participation. Every time you react the same way, tell the same old story, expect the same disappointing outcome, the signal gets reinforced. It's like a well-worn neural pathway in your brain. The more you walk it, the deeper it gets. And soon that path becomes automatic. You're not consciously choosing your timeline anymore. It's choosing you. Here is where quantum physics and neuroscience intersect in a way that most people overlook. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect tells us that the act of observation collapses a wave of infinite potential into a single event, a particle, a choice, a reality. But here is the twist. You're not just observing reality with your eyes, you're observing it with your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations. Now add neuroscience. Approximately 95% of your behavior is driven by your subconscious mind. This is the part of you that stores all your emotional conditioning, your trauma, your core beliefs, and your identity patterns. It runs the show from behind the curtain. This means most of the time, it's not your conscious intention that is collapsing the wave. It's your subconscious programming. Let that land. You're trying to manifest from the 5% of you that's awake and aware, while the 95% of you is still tuned to fear, lack, distrust, and survival. And the quantum field responds to the dominant signal. So when people say, manifestation doesn't work, what they really mean is I haven't yet shifted the internal observer that's collapsing my reality. This is why people loop. This is why you can change your job, your partner, your city, and still find yourself in the same emotional patterns, the same types of problems. Because nothing external has the power to override an internal frequency that hasn't been changed. Let me put it another way. The timeline can't shift if the observer hasn't. So, what's anchoring you in the old one? Usually, it's resistance. And resistance is sneaky. It rarely shows up as a loud no. It shows up as overthinking, as procrastination, as emotional numbness, as hyperproductivity that leads nowhere, as fear disguised as logic, as the voice that says, be realistic, as the sudden urge to clean the house when you sit down to meditate. But resistance always boils down to one thing. Your system believes it is safer to stay where you are, even if you hate it, than to leap into the unknown. And that belief doesn't just live in your thoughts. It lives in your body. Stored trauma, emotional suppression, inherited fears, they're all coded into your nervous system, into your very cells. That's why you can know something intellectually, but still not be able to live it. That's why affirmations fall flat. Why visualizations fade. Why you keep falling back into the same old cycles. The resistance isn't just in your mindset. It's in your chemistry. When your nervous system is dysregulated, when it's stuck in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, it sends a constant signal of threat to the quantum field. Even when your mouth is saying, "I'm ready," your body is screaming, "Danger." That energetic contradiction keeps collapsing the same limited outcomes. It's not personal, it's physics. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." This wasn't metaphorical, it was literal. Your life is a frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your posture, your breath, they all create a vibrational pattern that either aligns with your desired timeline or repels it. This is why many people are magnetized to numbers like 369, 777, or to sacred geometry. They intuitively sense that the universe speaks in patterns. That frequencies are not random. They are encoded into the very fabric of reality. You are not just a person navigating a life. You are a frequency generator, embedded in a responsive field. And you've been broadcasting the same old pattern for so long. You've mistaken that signal for who you are. But here is the good news. You don't have to fight that pattern. You just have to stop feeding it. Let me ask you, where are you still vibrating in fear while declaring faith? Where are you still bracing for rejection while seeking love? Where are you still trying to attract abundance while feeling unworthy of it deep in your gut? These are the subtle contradictions. These are the places where the old timeline gets its power. In the next part of this journey, we're going to explore what it actually takes to shift timelines. Not in theory, but in felt, embodied practice. You'll learn how to align the conscious and subconscious, how to regulate your body into coherence, and how to start showing up as the version of you that already lives inside the new reality. But before we move forward, I want to invite you into something real. If you've been feeling like something's clicking into place, if part of you is waking up to your own power, then subscribe. Stay with this space, grow with us, and in the comments, drop a word. A single word that represents the loop you're ready to break. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's scarcity. Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's unworthiness. Whatever it is, call it out. Not for me, for you. Because naming the loop is the first act of dissolving it. Now we reach the part that most people never get to. Not because it's hidden, but because it's so simple they overlook it. Shifting timelines isn't about forcing the quantum field to obey you. It's about aligning so completely with the version of you who already lives the reality you desire, that the old timeline can no longer hold you. Let's break this down. Think of the quantum field like a vast, silent ocean of possibility. Every timeline, every version of you, every outcome already exists in that ocean as a distinct wave pattern. When you focus, when you observe, when you align your energy, you collapse a particular wave into your physical form. But here is the key. You don't collapse the wave by wanting it. You collapse it by matching it. And matching isn't just a mental game. It's emotional. It's physical. It's vibrational. It's how your entire system hums when you are in a state of coherence. So why do people struggle to match the new timeline? Because they are trying to get there by thinking about it. They intellectualize the shift. I know abundance is available. I know love is possible. I know I can heal, but knowing isn't enough. Your body needs to know. Your emotions need to know. Your breath, your posture, your habits, your identity. They all need to signal, I am now the version of me who belongs in this timeline. This is where embodiment comes in. Embodiment is not a buzzword, it's the missing link. It's the practice of inhabiting the frequency you want. Before the external world gives you permission, it is living as if from the inside out, so deeply that it becomes who I am. Let me give you an example. If you're shifting into an abundance timeline, embodiment might mean spending a small amount of money with a feeling of trust and joy, instead of panic and calculation. Breathing deeply into your belly when the fear of not enough rises, instead of letting that fear contract your body and your choices. Showing up to opportunities with open-handed receptivity, instead of bracing for disappointment or rejection. If you're shifting into a love timeline, embodiment might mean softening your heart and your physical posture when you feel the urge to shut down and armor up. Taking a small emotional risk, like giving a genuine compliment or expressing a need. Practicing vulnerability, even when your old wounds are screaming at you to hide and protect yourself. If you're shifting into a health timeline, embodiment might mean treating your body as though it is already healing, already regenerating, speaking to it with respect, feeding it with foods that feel like love, not punishment, moving it with gratitude for its strength, and resting it with the intention of deep restoration. See the pattern. You don't wait for the timeline to shift to start living differently. You start living differently, and the timeline shifts. This is why so many manifestation efforts fail. They are conditional. I'll feel grateful when I get the job. I'll relax when I find the relationship. I'll feel abundant when the money arrives. But the quantum field doesn't work that way. It isn't testing you or punishing you. It is reflecting you. And reflection happens instantaneously, not after a delay. This is where we return to the wisdom of Tesla, the 369, the universal patterns encoded in reality. These aren't superstitions. They are reminders. They point us back to the truth that life organizes itself around energy, not effort. So the real work becomes, can you become coherent? Can you bring your mind, your heart, your body, and your actions into alignment, even when nothing external has changed yet? Can you hold the signal long enough, and clearly enough, for the new wave to collapse? Because here is the paradox no one talks about. The timeline doesn't shift when you get tired of waiting. The timeline shifts when waiting is no longer part of your frequency. Pause. Breathe that in. This is the quantum code. The version of you who has what you desire isn't in the future. They are vibrating now, on a frequency you can access today. The question is, will you tune to it? Before we move forward, reflect on this. What would your day look like if you acted, breathed, and moved as the version of you who's already in the desired timeline? What small choices would change? What emotional habits would shift? What conversations would end or begin? This is not about grand gestures. It's about subtle, persistent alignment. In the next section, we'll explore how to turn these insights into practice, how to stop looping through information, and start living the shift, moment by moment. Are you ready to embody the timeline you've been trying to chase? Let's begin. Here is the only practice that matters. It is the one you actually live. We live in an age where it is easy to consume knowledge. It is easy to gather techniques, to binge watch manifestation videos, to read all the books, and yet so many people never integrate it. Why? Because consuming feels like progress. But true progress only happens when the body, the breath, the actions begin to match the information. So how do we bring the quantum shift into daily life? First, you must understand the principle of micro-alignment. Most people think shifting timelines requires massive, dramatic changes. They think they need to quit their job, move across the country, or make some huge leap. But quantum reality responds to coherence, not size. A small act done with pure, aligned intention can carry more vibrational weight than a giant, frantic gesture done from a place of desperation and lack. Let's break this into simple, living examples. If you're shifting toward abundance, your practice might be breathing deeply for 10 seconds when scarcity thoughts arise. Instead of immediately spiraling into fear and lack, expressing genuine gratitude for one small resource you have right now: a warm bed, a cup of coffee, the sun, amplifying the signal of "I have enough." Spending a single dollar with presence and trust, feeling the energy of circulation, rather than with panic or guilt. If you're shifting toward love, your practice might be consciously opening your shoulders and lifting your heart when you feel the urge to shrink or hide. Reaching out with a simple text of kindness to a friend, instead of withdrawing in self-protection. Speaking one sentence from your desired open-hearted self, like "I appreciate you," instead of from your fearful, guarded self. If you're shifting toward health, your practice might be tuning in for 1 minute to the subtle sensations of vitality already present in your body, the beat of your heart, the air in your lungs. Choosing one food, one movement, one rest period, with the energy of respect for your body, not punishment for its flaws. Catching one inner dialogue of criticism, and gently shifting it to a sentence of support, like "We are healing." These small acts are quantum keys. They are not for the universe's benefit. They are for yours. They tell your own system, "This is who I am now, not who I'm trying to become someday, but who I've decided to be today." But here is the part most people miss. The practice is not about perfection. It is about returning. You will wobble. You will fall back into old loops. You will catch yourself thinking, feeling, or acting from the old timeline. This doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're alive. It means you're human. The power isn't in never slipping. The power is in how quickly you come back to center. Every time you notice yourself slipping into the old frequency and gently guide yourself back, you strengthen the new timeline. Every time you pause, breathe, and choose coherence over chaos, you reinforce the shift. Every time you act as though the new reality is already true, even when the external world hasn't caught up yet, you collapse the wave. This is the dance of quantum embodiment. Now let's talk about tools. For some people, practices like breathwork, meditation, and visualization help to tune the system. For others, using sacred symbols, numbers like 369 or 777, or listening to specific sound frequencies, feels powerful and aligning. These tools are not magic tricks. They are anchoring devices. They help your subconscious mind receive the message. They give your brain a focal point. They say, "When I see this number, when I do this breath, I am attuning to the new reality." But remember, no tool works without your embodied participation. You can't outsource your shift to a ritual. The ritual works because you bring your conscious, aligned energy to it. You are the active ingredient. So here is your invitation for today. 1. Identify one pattern from the old timeline you are ready to disrupt. The word you wrote in the comments is a perfect start. 2. Choose one small, practical act that embodies the new timeline. 3. Commit to practicing that act today with presence, with sincerity, with love. It might be something as small as pausing for 3 conscious breaths before reacting to a trigger. It might be choosing to speak one sentence from your desired self, not your fearful self. It might be sitting quietly for 60 seconds and visualizing yourself surrounded by the feeling of your chosen reality. It's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. It's the energy you put behind the action. And the beauty is, the quantum field doesn't need time to catch up. It responds in the now. As you step into this practice, remember you are not alone. You are part of a collective of beings who are awakening to their power, rediscovering their creative nature, and learning how to dance with the field. This channel, this space, is here to walk alongside you. So before we head into the final part of this journey, the part where we explore how to sustain the shift and truly live inside the new timeline, I invite you, if this has stirred something in you, if you're feeling the pulse of possibility opening inside, hit subscribe. Stay close to this community. Stay close to these conversations. And in the comments, share one small act you're committing to today, something that anchors you into your new timeline. It could be as simple as breathe, or trust, or open. Your word matters. Your act matters. Because you matter. So here we are, at the final step of this journey together. You've traveled through the science, the energy, the subconscious layers, and the embodied practices. But now comes the most important part, sustaining the shift. Because the quantum field doesn't care if you visit the new timeline once. It reshapes around you when you live there. Most people approach manifestation like a single event. They visualize, they affirm, they journal, they wait. And when the results don't show up immediately on their schedule, they collapse back into the old frequency. They get discouraged. They decide it doesn't work. They don't realize that the true magic, the true transformation, is in the staying. It's in making the new frequency your home. Sustainability is the master key of quantum shift. Let's be clear. This does not mean forcing yourself to feel good all the time. This does not mean ignoring real challenges or pretending you're high vibe when you're feeling sad or angry. This means developing the emotional and energetic capacity to return, again and again, to alignment. It's building your alignment muscle. Every time you wobble and consciously come back, you strengthen the signal. Every time you notice an old loop pulling at you, and you gently choose the new timeline instead, you reinforce the shift. Every time you act, speak, breathe, and choose as though you already live in the desired state, the old timeline loses its grip. This is not punishment. This is mastery. You are learning how to become the quantum signal that collapses the wave, not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but as a way of life. Let me offer you a simple roadmap for sustainability. First, daily awareness. Start your day not with your phone, not with your to-do list, but with a tuning. Before you even open your eyes, ask yourself, what frequency am I bringing into today? Are you carrying fear? Or are you carrying trust? Are you expecting struggle? Or are you expecting flow? Set the intention for your state of being, even before your feet hit the floor. Second, embodied action. Throughout your day, practice micro-alignment. Notice when your actions match your desired timeline, and when they don't. If you want abundance, are you acting with generosity or with scarcity? If you want love, are you opening your heart or armoring it? If you want health, are you nurturing your body or neglecting it? Small repeated shifts matter infinitely more than occasional, dramatic leaps. Third, emotional regulation. You will get triggered. You will fall into doubt. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are human. The power lies not in avoiding these moments, but in your return. When you feel the old energy coming back, breathe. Ground your feet on the floor. Reconnect with the feeling of the version of you who already knows. This is who I am now. Arth. Community and symbols. You cannot do this in a vacuum. Surround yourself with reminders. It could be a specific number you see on a clock, a mantra you repeat, or a sacred image on your wall. These are anchors. Stay close to communities, to voices, to people who reinforce your chosen timeline. Let the external world become an ally in your shift, not a distraction from it. Finally, gratitude is your amplifier. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling. It is the emotional signature of already having. When you practice genuine gratitude, you send a powerful signal to the quantum field. I am aligned. I am receptive. I am whole. This amplifies the coherence of your entire energy field and accelerates the collapse of your desired timeline. Remember, you're not doing this to get somewhere. You're doing this because this is the somewhere. You are not chasing the timeline. You are becoming the timeline. I want to thank you for walking this journey with me. You are not the same person who pressed play on this video. You are vibrating slightly differently. You are carrying a new awareness, a new code, a new possibility inside you. The real magic isn't in remembering everything we've talked about. The real magic is in what you do next. So here is my invitation. Not a homework assignment, not a checklist, just a living, breathing invitation. In the next 24 hours, surprise yourself. Do one thing, just one, that belongs to the version of you living in your desired timeline. Maybe it's a choice you make, a gesture of kindness to yourself or another, a conversation you initiate, a boundary you set, or even a private shift inside your own mind or heart. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be real. And when you do it, know this: you are no longer waiting for change. You are the change. If this has stirred something in you, I'd love for you to subscribe, not because you're following a channel, but because you're stepping into a space where these kinds of awakenings are our baseline, where we keep raising the frequency together. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for daring to become more of who you really are. Keep going. Keep choosing. Keep surprising yourself. Because when you do, the quantum field always responds